Hola, estudiantes fabulosos. So today in class, we're working on that interview thing. Yep, Spanish 3, Unit 2, all about the world of work. Here's what you're going to be able to do. I want you to understand those interview questions. So when you hear them, do you understand what they are? And can you respond to them? We're going to talk about jobs and money. Is it all about the money, or do you want some other stuff in there? I want you to be able to ask some interview questions and understand the perfect tense. Now, that doesn't talk about you being perfect. It just means that's what we're studying. So we're going to give this a try. We're going to go through this a step at a time, and I hope to give you some practices. So what we did in class is I went through with you guys and made sure that you could hear it. El dinero es muy importante. And you guys voted, estoy de acuerdo, no estoy de acuerdo, no tengo opinión. So I just kind of practiced that with you. And then in class, you guys were supposed to work with your partner. And you would say, el dinero es muy importante. And your partner would either say, estoy de acuerdo, no estoy de acuerdo, no tengo opinión. But then you had to answer back. Then your partner came to you and said, prefiero trabajar en equipo. And you either said, estoy de acuerdo, no estoy de acuerdo, no tengo opinión. So let's just go ahead and practice the pronunciation because we practiced it in class and then you guys practice speaking. Ready? El dinero es muy importante. Prefiero trabajar en equipo. Me parece esencial tener responsabilidades en mi trabajo. No es importante tener experiencia. Me gustaría trabajar a tiempo parcial. ¿Estoy de acuerdo? No estoy de acuerdo. No tengo opinión. Now, can you justify your opinion? And that's another thing that's important too. So let's go back. Can you state whether you agree or disagree? You should be able to give a justification. And can you compare pros and cons? So, for example, el dinero es muy importante. Estoy de acuerdo. Necesito comer. Necesito ropa. Necesito una casa. Pero no quiero mucho estrés. So you can kind of see where we went with that. All right, so we had verdad or mentira. You want to be able to understand a CV. I did not realize that many students had not yet processed that CV is curriculum vitae and that it's very much like a resume. So I popped up my resume on the board, reminded you guys I've been working for forever. So a high school curriculum vitae, it's okay to say, I'm working in Taco Bell right now. That shows that you can show up on time, wear a uniform, provide food for other people to eat, follow occupational and safety standards, and you can count money and exchange money back and forth. Never put down a part-time job. It is honest, legal, and serving somebody else's needs. So you guys as high schoolers are just beginning your resumes and curriculum vitae. In Spanish 3, we're going to work on creating ours in Spanish. Remember your English. In Spanish, we're third grade. We're trying to improve our language skills. Okay. What we did is we paused in class. You guys worked and you guys decided if each statement was cierto, falso, or no se menciona. And you had to prove and get evidence from here to prove it. So we paused in class, we worked, we took some time, and then I went over it. Was it for a grade? No, because I would rather you learn from mistakes. So pause this recording right now and do the work on your own. I am going to give you the answers, but if you just sit here and listen to the answers, you don't actually do the work. So pause, skim for cognates, scan for the main idea, read to understand, and then figure out the answers. Ready? Pause and go. Okay, I hope you actually did the work. We decided numero uno was falso because it was an internet thing and it does not look like it is an actual newspaper because you can read a newspaper online, but that, Numero dos, for a translator, we decided cierto because it says, podrá ver mi he trabajado de traductor, he traducido. He will send a curriculum vitae. We decided falso. Le adjunto mi curriculum vitae. Y como podrá ver. He is available to work part-time. We did not see anything in here about a tiempo parcial o a tiempo completo. So we decided no se menciona. He knows how to use spreadsheets on the computer. Well, Mrs. Stoke, we haven't studied spreadsheets. We haven't studied the vocabulary. Okay, I get that. But take a peek here. He hecho varios cursos de informática. Our vocabulary list talks about tengo habilidades informáticas. And here we go, Word, PowerPoint, and Excel. Number 6, we decided that that was cierto. And people were like, no, hold on here. Manager. So, trabajador rápido, trabajo bien solo. I work fine. Sometimes you have to go a little more than just reading it and getting that short answer. O como parte de un equipo, part of a team. Tengo 2 años de experiencia como traductor jefe. Jefe, we learned as boss in our vocab list. De un equipo de 8 personas. So it has to be cierto. Good debate here with the 3 languages. Soy bilingüe does mean bilingual, but keep going. Soy bilingüe en inglés y español y domino perfectamente el alemán. Domino, was that domino sugar? Is that a domino game? It comes from dominar. People took the time to look up dominar in word reference. Got it. So, cierto. All right, so what we did here is I had you guys listen. You listened to 1 to 4 and you made a note of the jobs. Puestos. That's in your vocab list. Puestos. Lenguajes, idiomas, and información extra. Idealistically, you're going to grab a piece of paper right now. And on a piece of paper, you're going to stop looking at the computer screen because I'm going to have to read the script. I put this on the TV and then I had the script with me. I've got to have the script here in front of me in order to be able to do this. So I'm going to read the script aloud. You're going to see it here. Ideally, you're going to go ahead and write down número 1, 2, 3, 4, and you're going to cover up and not look at the computer screen. Right. All right. So I read this aloud to you. Now, if you're home studying and you just want the practice, cool. Please forgive my dorky voices. I was trying to make it sound like a conversation. I read each one twice. Número 1. ¿En qué has trabajado? He trabajado como abogada. ¿Has usado idiomas extranjeros en tu trabajo? Sí, sobre todo he hablado español e inglés, pero también he hablado alemán y un poco de italiano. Número 2. ¿En qué ha trabajado usted? He sido contador en la Costa del Sol. ¿Ha usado idiomas extranjeros en su trabajo? Muy poco. Nunca he aprendido inglés o alemán, pero sé lo básico, los números. Número 3. ¿Te gusta tu trabajo? Sí, me encanta. He trabajado como recepcionista en un banco internacional. ¿Y has hablado lenguas extranjeras en tu trabajo? Sí, mucho. He contestado llamadas en inglés y también he escrito muchos correos en inglés. Número 4. ¿Ha usado usted idiomas extranjeros en su trabajo? Sí, he sido periodista y reportera y he trabajado para una revista de moda. He escrito sobre la vida de los famosos, sobre todo en alemán. Por ejemplo, he informado sobre la vida de los Beckham y de Jennifer Lopez. Now in class, we did read over them. I did them like 2 or 3 times each. I paused. I gave people time to write. So in the next page, we did go over. First, I set you guys to look at each other, talk with each other, compare your answers. And then when we came back in, we did go over the answers together, and here they are, just so you've got them. Pause as you need. You can always pause and replay. Okay, so escucharemos de nuevo. Yeah, I read it to you guys again, and I had you guys note down the verbs in the perfect tense. The what? Perfect? No, I don't expect you to be perfect. They sounded like they've got 2 parts. And remember, you're going to hear and as. We're not hearing he has. We're hearing I have, and as, you have. Plus another part with auto nido. We did this a little more in depth in class, and I kind of modeled things back and forth. So I have worked, yo he trabajado. Have you studied? Has estudiado. There's a ton of these verbs that you're going to hear. I asked you just to listen to number one and try to get something down. Same with número dos, número tres, and número cuatro. I don't expect perfection. You guys have never had this before. Learning how to drive? We're not putting you on the interstate. We're in the parking lot. Put the key in. Success. Oh, did you put your seatbelt on first? Then we work on other things. So I'm going to read these aloud to you. And I want you to try to notice the present perfect tense. Okay? The perfect tense is this right here. We paused. I literally set the timer for 2 minutes. I said, don't try to absorb it all at once. But if you're a person who has to take notes right now, you go ahead and hand take some notes. If you're a person that you have to take a picture of the TV, you can do that out. It's in Canvas. So we did practice this a little bit. And we went, has a, hemos, habéis, han. Has a, hemos, habéis, han. And we practice, yo he trabajado, I have worked. Tú has trabajado, you have worked, and stuff like that. So here we go. I'm going to read these out loud to you. Now, idealistically, you're not looking at it and you're just listening for it and you're trying to write it down. Número uno. ¿En qué has trabajado? He trabajado como azafata. ¿Has usado idiomas extranjeros en tu trabajo? Sí, sobre todo he hablado español e inglés, pero también he hablado alemán y un poco de italiano. Número dos. I just realized something. This is different than the one I had in class, and I don't know why. I was reading the other one. Interesting. Okay, give me a second. All right, somehow it did that. The one I read aloud in class was this one. So I'm going to read that aloud to you again. ¿En qué has trabajado? He trabajado como abogada. ¿Has usado idiomas extranjeros en su trabajo? Sí, sobre todo he hablado español e inglés, pero también he hablado alemán y un poco de italiano. And the goal was to get one or two of these. Has trabajado, he trabajado, has usado, he hablado. Número dos. ¿En qué ha trabajado usted? He sido contador en la Costa del Sol. ¿Ha usado idiomas extranjeros en su trabajo? Muy poco. Nunca he aprendido inglés o alemán, pero sé lo básico, los números. Número 3. ¿Te gusta tu trabajo? Sí, me encanta. He trabajado como recepcionista en un banco internacional. ¿Y has hablado lenguas extranjeras en tu trabajo? Sí, mucho. He contestado llamadas en inglés y también he escrito muchos correos en inglés. I think I spoke a little slower in class too. The goal was to find out this ha trabajado, he sido, ha usado, he aprendido. The goal was to figure out he trabajado, has hablado, he contestado, and he escrito. Again, new student to learning language. I don't expect you to get everything the first time. Did you get a couple? Last one. And again, if you're not just listening and writing down, it's cool if you take your finger on the screen and you're reading along with me. You're getting that listening practice. ¿Ha usado usted idiomas extranjeros en su trabajo? Sí, he sido periodista y reportera y he trabajado para una revista de moda. He escrito sobre la vida de los famosos, sobre todo en alemán. Por ejemplo, he informado sobre la vida de los Beckham y de Jennifer Lopez. And idealistically, you found ha usado, or he sido, or he escrito, or he informado. So it does look like I didn't do an edit here, but you've got the idea. Oops, sorry, go back. You're just starting to recognize the perfect tense. Have worked, I have worked. Have you used, I have spoken. I have worked. Have you spoken? I have answered. I have written. We're just looking at those things now. And this is what you figured out. We started to realize that at the end of class, we were not going to finish the lesson, and that's totally fine. Okay, we did peek at this, and so now we know what's coming up in the next class. I said, okay, so what are we going to do next? I said, we're going to answer some questions. I said, what's leer y hacer pareja? So you could work ahead if you want to. Never going to hold you back. You click on that star and up comes another screen. And as you can see here, it's going to be a matching activity. So, porque desea trabajar aquí, and you would have to go through and figure out which one answers that. ¿Qué experiencia laboral tiene usted? And you'd go through and figure that out. Okay. So that's what we're going to do in class the next time we get together. We ran out of time in class, and I just don't want to rush. So sure, you can sit here and get the answers, then that doesn't really help you. We did peek at this. We went over to ustedes and usted, informal you, formal you all, and the you all that we don't typically study a lot. Again, if you have questions, come see me. We also did not have time for this, but we will next class. Llena la tabla. And people said, okay, it looks like a table, it looks like a conversation. They went, this is a job interview, isn't it? It is. So we're going to take time next class to read through this and fill out the table. And as you can see, you're going to have to come up with a nombre. Many people keep saying, oh, that's a number. No, name. Estudios, if you get out, studies. Empleo solicitado, employment solicited, the job you're looking for. Experiencia laboral, your experience. Cualidades, your qualities. And we also looked at the fact that these are questions, and we're going to look at that next class. And they're like, oh, it's real. Yeah. Based on everything we've been studying in this unit, here it goes. We will speak and we will write. And we're going to take this reading model and we're going to create our own job interviews. So I hope this little video helped. Sorry, it was kind of a little long, but basically I took 90 minutes and condensed it into 17. I love you. Make good choices. Come back to me next class.